Hello, friends and family. Thank you for watching Olive Green African TV. We really appreciate you. We thank you for subscribing and for viewing it. We just want to say thank you and God bless you. Today, we're going to do puff-puff on a popular demand. Who said we should try and do more snacks? So today, I'm going to show you how we can make Nigerian puff-puff. And the ingredients we're going to use for making Nigerian puff-puff. This is 300 grams of plain flour, 150 grams of self-raising flour, 120 grams of sugar, half a teaspoon of salt, a teaspoon of nutmeg, blended nutmeg. I have water, cold water and boiled water, and I have my yeast. This I'm using a already packed teaspoon. This is 7 grams of teaspoons. It's written on it 7 grams. But in case you just don't have this kind of packed one wherever you live, you can use 2 teaspoons. That is 2 of these. 2 of this. This one is 5 ml. 2 teaspoons. You can use 2 of this because by the time you measure it, it comes out to be like that. So let me pour it because this is 15 ml, 1 tablespoon, and it's not going to fill it. If by the time I put everything inside, you can see you still have time space for about more 1 teaspoon rather, for about 1 teaspoon again. So this is 2 teaspoons. Sorry, this is 2 teaspoons. Let's leave that here, and I'm going to use my I'm using 1 cup of water to start with, and it's going to be quite hot water, not boiling water. So I'm going to pour the water here, not to the brim, because I'll give allowance for the cold water that I'm going to pour inside. So I'll pour cold water inside the already boiled water and quite hot. I'll pour it to make it warm. This is 1 cup of water. I'll put it in the bowl. Then I'll put my yeast inside. This is my yeast. And I take my salt. As I've told you, is half a teaspoon of salt. That's what I normally use. I don't use a full teaspoon of salt, because the salt is actually to bring out the sweetness of your puff-puff. And if there's too much salt inside, it's going to be more salty. So this is half a teaspoon of salt. Then I'll put my nutmeg, which is already blended, powdered. So 1 teaspoon of my nutmeg. I'll put it inside. Then my sugar, 120 grams of sugar. It depends on how sweet you want it to be. If you don't want it to be that sweet, you can use just 100 grams of sugar. So I'll pour my sugar, and I'll mix everything together like that, making sure that none of it is forming a lump. So I've mixed it now. This is how it looks. Mix together. Then I'll put my self-raising flour. The reason why I'm putting self-raising flour is that it will rise on time. I mix it. And I start putting my plain flour as well. I won't put it at once. You can see it's already thick. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add more water to it. I'm going to have half a cup of water, hot water, warm water now. I'll make it warm water. So making a total number of 1.5 cup of water that I've added to it. Mix everything together. And now pour my plain flour. See, the reason why I don't put all the water at once is that at times you make it and the water will be quite much. So it's better for you to check it. Don't put all, because at the end of the day, I'm going to put 2 cups. But why I don't put the 2 cups at once is just to make sure that you are in control of the consistency of the dough you're making. So now it's too thick. I'll just add half a cup again. So everything, all the cups I'm using to get, all the amount of water I'm using together is 2 cups of water. But I don't add everything together. That's my own method because it gives me control of what I'm making. So I'll make another warm water. Some people add it at once. It depends on them. But for me, the way I make mine, and I make for parties, you know, I just add it as I go along. I wouldn't want it to be too thin. Make sure you mix everything together very well, so that it doesn't form a lumps inside. See, this is how it should be. It should be running and not completely runny. See, this is how your dough for puff-puff should look like. And after you've done that, you satisfy that is well mixed. After you're satisfied that you really mix it together, everything has come together. Remove your spoon, and I have cling film. I'll wrap it up with a cling film for you to rise. I have to leave it for some time to rise. The cling film allow it to warm up so that the yeast can work on your mixture. So it takes about an hour to rise. Actually, it depends on how cold your region is. If it's if it's really cold, you can, because now we're getting to warm. It's getting warm here. But whenever I'm making it, maybe during the winter, I make sure that I leave it for about 2 hours and I put it in the oven. I'll first of all put on the oven, allow the oven to warm up, put up the oven, then I'll put my dough inside, just for ease, for the warmth for the heat to help the yeast to work. So but now the weather is getting better, I just wrap it up and put it on the table. And within an hour, within 45 minutes and an hour, it's ready to go. See, I'll leave it on my table. I will come back in an hour's time and have a look. That's how to make the the dough for puff puff. I'll see you now. If you want to know that your puff puff dough is ready, you'll be able to see around it. You see bubbles, and see it shows that it has risen, and that's it. That means it's ready. So at times it could take 1 hour, it could take 1.5 hours to 2 hours. It depends on the weather. If the weather around your house is quite warm, it's fasten it. It makes it easier. It makes it it allows it to rise earlier. But if it's cold, you have to leave it for some time. And this is how you get to know that it's already for you to fry. That's it. It's the bubbles are around it. And I've already put my oil on the stove. My oil is there. I'm allowing it to heat up. You allow the oil to heat up a bit before you start putting your puff puff. Now make sure that you've washed your hands, and the oil is on the stove already, so that it's heat up. And I'm going to start now. See my 4 fingers together, and I put it like this, and for it to have the round shape this way, and you squeeze it inside. If you want your puff puff to have a round shape, that's how you do it. I hope you can get it. I'll show you again to demonstrate. You do it this way inside your dough, put it together, bring it out, and squeeze it out. That's how you get a round shape puff puff. And at the same time as you're doing it, so that it won't stick together, you have to use your spoon to separate it. See, that means, see, it has risen very well. It's floating. And as you're frying it, make sure you turn it around so that it won't be one side that is fried and the other side won't fry. It cooks about 10 minutes so that it will cook properly inside, as in it will be well cooked. Then when you are frying it, don't let the heat be too much. Let it be on a medium size heat so that it won't cook, the outward won't cook faster than it goes inside. If the heat is too much, you'll get quick, it will be brown on the outside, but the inside might not be well cooked. So whenever you're doing it, make sure that you allow it to be a medium heat. See, our puff-puff is fine now. You shouldn't allow the heat to be too low. That's why I said medium heat, so that it won't be, if it's too low, it's the dough will take too much oil. But when it's medium heat, it will just cook perfectly. See, it's getting brown now. ready to eat. Then if you want to find out whether it's cooked inside, as it's well cooked, what I know, those women that sells puff-puff, what should they normally do is that they just press it like this. If they press it and it rises back, that means, yeah, it's cooked. Some of it has a funny shape because when I was doing it, I didn't allow it to be the way I did it. It didn't come out rounded well, but that's the way you do it and scoop it inside. But this is how puff-puff looks like. I just want it to be a little bit brown. And it's deep frying, not shallow frying, it's deep frying. See, this puff-puff is ready now. I'm not going to take it out. So we've done the first batch. When you are doing the second batch, because the oil is already heated up, you just lower the heat a bit so that it won't be as immediately you put it inside that it's cooked up. So I'm going to lower my heat a little bit because the oil is now very, very hot. So now our puff-puff is ready. See, I'm going to open it up. It has to be like this. That shows that it's really cooked and it's properly done, and it has not taken too much oil in. This is how your puff-puff should look inside. Cooked on the outside and well cooked on the inside as well. So I'd like you to try it at home. Give us a feedback. Try it for your family. Get together. I would love to hear from you. Thank you. And I always want you to know it's all about you. It's all about Africa. It's all about culture. And it's all about good life. Good things of life. Thank you for watching and thank you for subscribing. God bless you. Thank you.